So let's talk today about holding a man to integrity. Now, this is an edgy one. This is one that many people have different views and opinions on, depending on whether you're too feminine, not feminine enough, whatever, all the things. And I wanted to share my opinion and what I believe can help women hold their integrity and so hold a man to his as well, rather than go into fawning, pleasing, or even collapsing and not wanting to say anything in case they upset the man, in case he gets angry or whatever the things, right? So one of the gifts of the feminine is to hold a man to integrity, is to bring a man back to consciousness where he has lost consciousness, and to also inspire his leadership. And so, this is all good and well being said on a video, but it's like in moments when you're triggered, in real life moments where things happen and it's like, you want to kind of blast that dragon, or you kind of want to just, turn around and storm off in a huff. Like, how do you shift this and express what's going on for you and in your body, what you can feel in the moment, and share it with him in a way that he can be with, but at the same time evokes and brings him back to presence, right? I know it sounds awesome and all juicy, right? So in a moment where your body shuts down because your man has lost consciousness, or when he has dropped his integrity, or when he's kind of just a little bit flaky, it's like, you get triggered in that moment. Our role as a feminine in moments like this is to feel the uncomfortability in the moment, okay, and keep an open heart, okay, which is really hard to do in the moment, but this is the practice, and share from an open heart by even ruining the moment, right? So say you're out on a date, say you're out somewhere, and I use this example a lot. I think I've actually even used this in my upcoming book, something very similar scene in my upcoming romance novel that's soon to be released, which I'll let you know all the details of that anyway. But say you're sitting outside a cafe, and you're sitting there, right? And you're engaging in conversation, and he's present with you. And all of a sudden, this girl walks past with a little skirt on, and he loses presence and he goes unconscious and he turns his head. Okay. Now, depending on where you are, with things like this, will evoke a certain response, right? But say you have a wound around this. Say you've been cheated on in the past. Say these things like you've had men with leaking sexual energy in the past, and so this trigger gets activated, okay, because he just loses presence with you in that moment and turns his head and looks away, right? But it's just a moment, and then he turns back around and looks at you, and you're triggered, and you don't want to talk anymore. You're done, right? It's like, what do you do in those moments, right? A lot of women will actually shut down, go quiet, cross their legs, and sit back in their chair, right? And pull back. And, your man may even ask, what's wrong? You may say nothing, okay? In those moments, my invitation to you is to practice opening your heart and bringing your heart to the moment, right? Gosh, it really hurt me when you lost presence with me in that moment. Like, it really hurt. I felt like you didn't care about me, And just if there's any emotion that comes up with that, just allow it to move through you, okay? If the sharing of your heart in that moment doesn't bring this man or your man into deeper presence, I would consider leaving the relationship if it's a constant thing, okay, if he gets dismissive, if he cannot be with what you're bringing to him, okay, if it's a constant thing, to consider firstly, like, also your communication, right? Your communication's important, but also being dismissive isn't like an okay thing either with anyone in relationship, man or woman. Okay, so in those moments, I would practice bringing your heart, sharing the truth, and even ruining a moment that's really, really good, because a lot of women will actually go into not saying anything, quiet and fawning even, and pleasing, like trying to please in the moment, right? So I would invite you to ruin the moment and share the truth, okay? And the best thing, if you're a man who desires to lead your woman, who desires to lead the relationship, who desires to live a life of integrity, to be a man of integrity, and she brings this to you, okay, to receive her and ask yourself, where is she right? Okay, and admit, yes, honey, I did. I lost presence with you. I did, right? That in itself will soften a woman's body, her nervous system, and she will still feel safe with you, right? And it'll keep the body like open rather than contracting and closing, okay? If you're a man who constantly dismisses what your woman says, denies what your woman says, this is going to shut her down, and she's desiring to hold you to your integrity, to the integrity of the container of the relationship. And like I mentioned before, this is the role of the feminine. This is a feminine gift. And sometimes she will see your blind spots that you don't see, because women see things through, like, they see through feeling, right? They feel things and they bring that feeling to their masculine partner. And to be able to receive her and what she says and what she feels is your gift to her, to receive her, okay? If, like I mentioned, if you're going to constantly dismiss her, if you're going to constantly tell her she's wrong, if you're constantly like, all the things and just doing whatever you want, it's not leadership. It's not holding the integrity of yourself and also the safety of the container. Like I mentioned, if that is the role that you desire in your partnership, in your relationship, right? Now, this isn't to say that a man needs to always agree with you, but to receive what you're saying and to admit in those moments that, yes, honey, I did drop, like I dropped integrity in that moment, like, is everything to the feminine, right? It's everything. It's like, it's not like, oh yes, I'm right. It's the validation, but it's also the receiving her and what she's sharing with you. Okay. So this, for women, if you're watching this, is your practice. Rather than holding on to something and blasting him in a week's time, practice opening in moments, okay? This is when I share a lot in my posts about holding the integrity of our heart moment to moment through life. This is what I mean. This is what I'm talking about. It's like, how can you, like, are you able to move through life and practice staying open even in those moments where it feels like an ouch? It's like, ouch, like the way you just said that in that tone, like, really hurt me. Like, it really hurt, rather than, shutting down or saying, oh, fuck off, again. So while I actually said that, I just remembered the fuck off. I've written this post. I read a post a couple of days ago about, you can tell a man to fuck off. It's not a bad thing, even your partner, but how you bring it to the moment and will be everything. Like, how you bring your fuck off to the moment can, in a way that he can be with, that's artistic and has art to it, is everything. So, if he says something to you, if your man says something to you and he, and you're just like, oh, what the fuck? Like, did you just say that? Or like, you know, you just want to say to him like, oh, fuck off, right? So think, like, feel into these examples. Okay, so saying, fuck you, don't talk to me like that, versus, oh, fuck off. Feel the difference. Okay, one of them has a bit of an aggressive tone to it, and the other one, like the second example that I gave, has some more of a playful tone to it, and is like, a man can be with that. It can be with your fuck off, right? And, you know, you can do this when you're feeling jealous about something. You can, you know, instead of like holding it for a week and then blasting him, like, you know, if he asks you like, honey, what's wrong? Like, you know, I can see and I can sense that you're a little closed off to me. You can just give him a little pout and say, I'm feeling jealous. Right? Rather than, when we were out the other day and you did blah, 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 and yada, 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 yada. You know, even stomp your feet, get the energy out in the moment, have a little tantrum in the moment. But these are moments that you can create art with what you're feeling and what you see and what you feel, and bring that to him in that way, rather than being kind of like a fire hose. Okay. And this is the practice for all of it, all us women in life, right? It's like, especially if we're kind of like have that fire energy, especially if your practice may be, if you're somebody that's quite closed off, to practice speaking and sharing. Like, you know, another one may be to just share in a way that's, like I said, doesn't kill your partner. And you're not a dragon, like burn them alive, you know. So we all have our stuff, and the most important thing for me, for you, for love, is to be in your heart and to express the integrity, like be in the integrity of your heart moment to moment. Learn to express in ways that can be playful, but, you know, also bringing the truth to the moment. And this, it can be very erotic, and it creates and keeps the integrity of the container, right? And so again, men, if you're watching this, if you are a man that desires to lead your relationship, to lead your woman, you must be in integrity first, right? As well in your own life, so she will trust you. Because one of his greatest desires is for his woman to trust him, and the woman's is to trust her man, right? So, but we both need to be in integrity in our own lives first. Okay. All right. Much love, and see you all again soon.